Ever ready woman, ever ready woman, family planning made me so. Ever ready woman in the kitchen.
During antenatal clinic, we emphasize the importance of family planning and child spacing.
When clients come and we don't have the services that they need, they tend to go to other places. Some of them might end up getting unwanted pregnancies.
I rarely met people that were really interested, and then you've sacrificed a lot, your time, your resources, and then you want to pass out family planning messages.
Even though I'm a nurse, it has not really made me think about taking up a method.
My belief was, when you take the family planning, you are going to have infection, you are going to get more fat to your body.
We've been able to create awareness amongst our patients who normally do antenatal here. I've been able to find out that they are able to get family planning done here with little or almost at no cost for them.
I did it and it was successful. I don't have any side effects, there's no problem. When I want to give birth to my baby boy again, I have to go back to the hospital and move him. In the next month, I take him again.
We will give orientation to facility staffs because we want them to actually take ownership of this project.
Working with 235 private facilities in Lagos State, man, it's hard work. I had so many heartbreaking tears. Sometimes I couldn't sleep well, but you know, we thank God.
After my dialysis, I'm like, I gave my best. So even if it doesn't hit the result I wanted, I'm just calm, like, oh, I give the best shot. So.
Upon discharge after delivery, a woman is made to see the gynecologist 2 weeks after vaginal delivery, and during those clinics, is family planning we always discuss and other issues, and 6 weeks for vaginal delivery, 2 weeks for cesarean section. We counsel them for family planning. In fact, that's the intention of that clinic, that 6 weeks clinic after delivery.
I wanted to do it before, when I gave birth to Tanya and Kenny, but I ran away. I didn't do it because of the vagaries of the instrument that they were sterilizing for the family planning. So I left there out of fear. The matron started calling me. I didn't pick the call because I was like, will I go through the laboring stress again? Because I wonder what they want to use the sharp objects to do. So, you know, I didn't have the knowledge then, so I left.
At a point, I was like, I would love to know more about it. So, my wife being a nurse, I called her to shed more light on it based on what the idea I already have about it, and she explained in details.
At first, I was surprised, shocked, kind of like, oh, really? Is someone talking to you about it, or you just thought about it yourself? So I just swallowed that and gave him the details because I didn't want him to feel discouraged, like maybe she doesn't want to do it or something. Yes, so I just gave him the details, what he asked, and I watched.
The post-pregnancy family planning project focuses on reaching women during pregnancy and in the post-pregnancy period with information and services they require to use family planning during this very crucial time in their life.
When PPFP came, there was an initial assessment of what we had on ground and what we were doing currently. Yes, at that time we were offering some level of family planning to our clients who were interested in taking up the update. They looked at our books and they looked at what we were offering. They told us that we could do much more in terms of carrying our patients along with what family planning options we had. So there was some training and retraining that went on.
The goal of the project is to increase contraceptive use amongst post-pregnant women within the private sector in Lagos State. And when we talk about post-pregnancy family planning, this is defined as the prevention of unintended and closely spaced pregnancy through the first 12 months after childbirth.
I am familiar with family planning, but it's not that I already have the mind of taking up a method. Yes, so but what I've come to realize is that when in your process of trying to introduce it to patients, they also want to know the method you're taking. And some of them will even come to meet you privately. Nurse, what method are you on? I want to use that, especially with my stature. Most of them come to me that, but which one are you using that you still maintain this body size even after delivery? And you know, when I'm not using any method, I become, yes, so that was the first challenge I had.
I started taking pills. During the course of taking the pills, I discovered that I wasn't looking good. As in, the pills has side effects on my body. I was just too thin, which it was as a result of that, the pill. I told you that I was so scared. I left the hospital. I took the pill for like 1 year. So it was after the pill, I switched to injectable. I told you, I said I always read, you know, they have so many information on Google. So after saying that, I called a nurse and I told the nurse that I needed to take injection. And she explained that we have that of 2 months, we have that of 3 months. I decided, okay, let me go for that of every 2 months. So that was what I was taking, every 2 months injection. But either the pill or the injectable, I didn't go through any hospital or any tests. So I was just taking it on my own.
Before they came, we didn't know that we cannot force clients to take up some methods. But with the training, PPFP have taught us how to give patients satisfaction. Balanced counseling, which we do, that it should be informed consent, that we should not force anybody to do services that they don't want, and we should not deny anybody of any service that they want. So with that, it has really helped us. So more and more clients are coming up.
It's not the same for every private facilities. They have their own peculiarities. So PPFP got the list of facility they used from FEMA, and these facilities were majorly those that submit data to the government. But getting into those facilities, you discover that most of them actually lie about this data. They don't really keep this data. A lot of them do not even have the tools to keep the data. But since PPFP joined, most of them, at least, they've been better. They've been submitting regularly to the government, because the ceremony section also tracks this data. So there's been great improvement. At least a lot of them now keep data, and then they do that monthly.
Working with the private sector has been very interesting. As we know, the private sector caters for 65% of the citizens in Lagos State, which includes women and their children. And so it has been very interesting. The private sector is made up of a group of very hardworking medical directors who strive to work together to improve the quality of services in that space. And I would say interesting because, as you know, for each private sector, you can't generalize services that have been provided there, because each service, each private facility has what the uniqueness and what they provide, what they bring on the table, and they also have their different structures and processes that has worked for them. So going into the facility, we're very careful to ensure we don't disrupt the flow, and we work within the nuances of what is already works for them in their facilities.
Actually, the nurse that I went to, she didn't tell me, you know, she was just like, that is what she's taking. So she didn't tell me the side effect. But I believe what she said then, that what is side effect for me might not be side effect for the other person. So since I'm not a nurse, for me, it's a side effect. And that is why I'm talking about it. So when I now went to Santa Maria, the matron brought the issue out again that why have you not given birth to Taya and Kenny for so long? So I now told her that I've been on this family planning, and that was what. So he now said, okay, did I do any test before the family planning? I said no. He said, but you did. There was a time that I told you that you should come and do it in the hospital and all that. I said, Mommy, it was as a result of the instrument you brought out that led to the running away. So she was just laughing. That it was the instrument wasn't for you, you know. The family planning is so simple than this. So she started saying more about the family planning. So, and that was when she now told me that I should not worry, that very soon I will be pregnant. But once after the giving birth of the baby, I should come for another family planning, the normal one in the hospital.
During the time we give orientation to the staffs. These staffs, they will let you know that, oh, we are going to do this one, we are going to do it. But at the long run, you find out that some of them would not want to continue just the way they started working after the orientation you gave to them.
You meet a lot of people that are questioning your integrity, they're questioning your motives, they're questioning your everything basically about you. You know, they look at you, first impression, and they say,
Most of these private facility health workers want incentive. They don't believe in doing free job. They believe this is a free job and then they don't have time. But so because private facilities, a lot of them don't have so much staff. It might just be one matron doing data, doing family planning, doing everything, and then she's overwhelmed and she can't leave a client and say she wants to start writing on this. So these are the challenges we faced. Most of the time when SMCs go to the facility, they'll start asking them, okay, well, how many clients did you reach out to? You know, they have to sit down with those health workers to make sure that, okay, they input them into their register, it is properly recorded.
I had this habit that once I'm leaving one hospital, I drop whatever baggage the hospital has, whatever issues, whatever challenges I face, things that, you know, that will normally hurt you and make you unhappy, and, you know, you'll be wondering, what am I doing wrong? I make sure I drop it. So when I'm going to another hospital, I'm going with a fresh mind, a fresh attitude, a fresh behavior.
So, and I think one of the challenges is, it's not a challenge we find when I realize that you keep saying something over and over again, and most especially it comes from the point of myths and misconceptions.
I would say that is part of it. One of the myths that family planning methods make you add weight. And because I've always loved this body, you know, I have always thought, if I take up a method now, will I not start adding weight? And people will start telling me, why you now like this? Because I've always loved this sporty body.
I always do withdrawal method because of my belief that if I take the family planning, I'm going to have infection, I'm going to have so fat. So, and some people will say, if you take the family planning, if you stop it and you wanted to get pregnant again, it will be difficult for you.
Some tell you when you take up a method, you will stop menstruating and then your stomach will start getting bigger and all.
When PPF came and talked about it, I was so impressed and fall in love with it.
I got to realize that those things are just mere misconceptions.
Because of maybe beliefs or from their individual perception and what maybe they've heard from friends or what they've seen, or stuff like that. Yes, initially they're like, oh no, yes, I don't want to, I'm not interested in family planning. But by the time they get to know that yes, your family planning for you would be different from maybe your friend or your sister, and that we put into consideration the medical history, and each individual is different. When they realize that and they're able to get more knowledge, sometimes because people do not know, they're not able to take up this. But when we're able to talk to them, take them through, they see the videos, they're able to we're able to reach out to them, give them the leaflets, and then we have different questions that they ask.
During implementation, we ensure women have access to family planning services by integrating it along the maternal, newborn and child health continuum of care or any contact the woman has with the health system. In the project, we work primarily with 4 target audiences, which is the pregnant woman, the woman who just delivered in the last 12 months and is not on any family planning method, the partner of the first 2 women, and the health worker. Using demand generation, we have been able to reach these target audiences through community and in-clinic mobilization activities.
We even have the FAQs that we're able to use to, to resolve this issue. So I think the uptake has been, much better. And people who have taken up family planning and have been able to return, even to say, okay, yes, now I'm planning to have a child. I've, taken enough time off. And they see that they're able to actually conceive again. So I think the fear and then the notion that some people had, that has been resolved.
Since then, I've been introducing it to some other people too, that they should not think, they should not believe what people are saying. They should try and go to the hospital and get to the PPF to hear from them before they can conclude that this is how it is.
I use myself as an example every day for my clients that look at me. Who would see me? Some will even tell me it's a lie. Okay, how are we sure? And sometimes I have to go through my register and show them, can you see my name in the register? It's not a lie. So that is one of the things. And taking up a method has made me realize that, okay, those things are not actually true.
Family planning, as it is a very important part of whatever services you are going to render to any woman. I'm using woman because of the kind of environment we found ourselves. The women are the ones that come up with those desires. Okay, any hospital that does not dive into that particular agenda is really missing out. Okay, so with what is happening around, a lot of people need to have limitation on their family size, and if they feel the services are going to be available, affordable, a lot of people will do it. So any facility that is not really into it is missing a lot.
With the talk, with the speech from the hospital and from the post-pregnancy family planning. So I decided to, okay, is that time for me not to be stubborn again, for me to do it. So that was why I did it.
Of course, after I had my baby, the need to rest, to space out, to also not refuse my husband's request for sex, due to the fact that I don't want to have any unwanted pregnancy. Yes, so that also led to my taking up a method.
The post-pregnancy family planning project is a unique project. It ties together the legs of demand generation, the legs of research, and of course the legs of service delivery. The Center for Communication and Social Impact played a key role in executing the project, especially from the demand generation lens. And what I love about the approach, the uniqueness of the approach is, basically it's private sector driven, private sector based, and most of our mobilization was basically in clinic. And that for CCSI even was the first, and we learned a lot, and we also harvested a lot of success stories. In terms of sustainability, the PPFP project has actually done a lot. It has changed the mindsets of the providers in these clinics, allowing them to deliver what I would refer to as a balanced social and behavior change campaign in terms of being able to provide information from the client center and also from the provider angle. The PPFP project is unparalleled, is unprecedented, and in Lagos State it's just something that can only be scaled up. There are so many private health facilities. The project did not have the resources to touch each and every one of them, but the few it has actually touched, I believe, will be a pool that can be called upon in terms of scale up.
The impact of the training, the step down knowledge, so everybody wants to be a part of it. And then when you come back, you know, one of the joys of medicine really is that you come back, you see your patients, they're doing very well. And you see that when someone is able to put in family planning, and then you see the woman comes back, she's healthy, she's able to take care of the child, and then now ready for another child. That also gives them joy. And another thing we also inculcated is the fact that when procedures are done normally in the facility, they get some incentives. So people who actually do it get some incentive from doing the procedures. So other people too want to be a part of it. They've seen that this is something that is doing well, this is something that is going well, so they want to be a part of it.
The flyers are displayed at our reception, and when clients come or other patients too, they are free to pick from there and read, and even take home to go and read. Then even in our own clinics, like the immunization clinic, antenatal clinic, we have in-house mobilizers that have been trained by PPFP, and they give talks on our clinic days. The antenatal clinic, the immunization clinic, they give them talks just to create awareness. Then apart from that too, we do counseling to women that just put to bed on admission. So we talk to them about family planning so that they don't come back with unwanted pregnancy before their postnatal clinic. So we also do counseling for the outpatients that even come for other services. Once we know that they are of childbearing age, we talk to them about family planning. We encourage them to pick up flyers to take home.
I would definitely say there has been a lot of progress because, as you know, the post-pregnancy family planning service is integrated along the MCH continuum of care. And so what this basically means is when the woman comes for antenatal, she's being told about family planning. When she delivers, she's being told about family planning. And even when she comes for postnatal, we can be immunization of the Royal Baby Clinic. She's been informed about family planning. And because they've been told lots of time, we have been able to build intention to use and ensuring that a woman takes up a method of her choice immediately after she gives birth or within the first 12 months after delivery.
They are very, very friendly, and they have good relationship with all the staff and even with the clients. Some of them, they even attend naming ceremonies of our newly delivered mothers. So that creates a very good rapport. At the end of the day, you find these newly delivered mothers coming for family planning. You say, it's because of Auntie Dohme. She even came to my naming ceremony. She brought us gifts and all those things. So they have been very, very helpful. And when they go out to mobilize with songs, with dancing steps and all those things, you know, people, when you are very lively, they will like you so much, and whatever you tell them, they want to do. So that has really helped. They've been very, very helpful. Apart from evaluating what we do, they do some corrective services. Like when we are making mistakes, they correct us in love. So, and they will do it in such a way, a manner that you will not feel bad about it. They will just encourage you. Try to do, why don't you do it like this? Try to do it this way. If you apply this, you know, so they correct us in love, and they're very, very friendly too. And when you are being corrected in love, you tend to retain what you have been corrected on. You will embrace it. So they are not hostile, and they are encouragers. They are very, very supportive.
Apart from the clinical staff, the non-clinical too, everybody has, taken up this, and then they're able to actually also talk about it. When they see the leaflets, even at our meetings, we talk about it, and then they know that, okay, this is what it is. So they are not able to choose, of course, for the clients what to do, but they tell them, okay, you can come over, to be a part of what is going on. And if you have any questions, we can always resolve it. And then, so I think that works. So everybody knows about it. They see the badges, there are leaflets around, there are posters around. So people definitely ask. Even men have come to ask, okay, I want to know more about this. Okay, I'm going to ask my wife to maybe come around or something like that. So that works. So they see some of their friends in, maybe a friend in coming for immunization, and then they say, okay, yes, so I've been doing this from, and I stopped it when I wanted to have my baby, and then now I've come back and I've had it removed, and I've even had another child. So that way, that also, when it's not just from the health workers, it's not just from the staff, but they're able to also see clients who have benefited from it, talk about it, and all of that. So that has, improved that, and yeah, getting better with that.
It has built confidence in us, one. It has also given us more proficiency in carrying out our duties, because there were some people that were trained before. Most of us from the midwifery school, we were trained on family planning, but you still find out that they are employed in the system. They cannot fix IUCD because they are scared. Some people cannot fix implants because they are scared. So when PPFP came and trained us again, so it built up our confidence, and it also makes us to be more proficient. Then also when the supportive supervisory consultants come around, they check our proficiency, they help us to evaluate, and they look at the setting, maybe it's conducive enough to operate our services. So they chip in whatever support they can give to us, all the technical support that we need.
So by and large, I would say that there's been a lot of quality improvement since we went into this collaboration. I would say that there's been an increase, a tremendous increase in the uptake of family planning. I'd say we've been able to create awareness amongst our patients who normally do antenatal care. I've been able to find out that they are able to get family planning done here with little or almost at no cost for them, cheaper than what we used to do, because we've been able to get more access to the family planning commodities and all of that. And we've also been able to carry out outreaches. We do this quarterly, and we're able to create awareness around the environment. And even people who naturally come here and they're not even interested in family planning, they've come here and they've noticed that we're a family planning provider, and they've been able to come for family planning and also tell others. Some people say, okay, my sister was here, she picked a flyer from here, and I was told that I could get family planning here. And we're also given some videos and some leaflets which we've been able to distribute to patients and distribute around the community. We've also been able to inculcate this in our day-to-day clinics, so people who ordinarily come for other services are able to pick up the fact that they can have family planning done in our facility. So I would say it's been a very fantastic collaboration. I would say we've been able to have a quality improvements, even not only in family planning, but in other areas that are related.
We have this data register where we enter the clients that come for the month. So through that data register, when it's submitted, so that is what Ifakweja used to analyze the quantity of each item that they are going to supply to us every month. Is based on that. They do the calculation and they give us the supplies. And when we have outreaches, they supply more commodities to us because they know that we are going to have more clients, more than the usual.
Okay, so I would say that in training, we've been able to participate in and partake in quite a lot of training. And even after the staff have been trained, they come back to do a step down training to other staff, so that even if maybe someone who has gone for the training is leaving, we know that the person is not leaving with the knowledge. So that's one thing. And of course, we've actually done a training on the sustainability as well, where we look at how we can define and measure our objectives and all of that. So with all of that, and knowing that we're not just doing it because of PPFP, but we're doing it because we know the impact that it has made on our clients. We know the impact it's been able to help us to reduce mortality and mobility. And we've seen people who would have come back, you know, with one pregnancy, or maybe having to try to look for how to maybe stop a pregnancy or come back here with complications of all of that. That has stopped. And we've been, like I said, we've had impact on staff training, improving the capability of the staff in being able to render the services. And we've seen the impact on even the facility on, itself. And initially when PPFP came in, they also helped us to, there was some sort of renovation that went on in some aspects of this, which made it even more attractive. And we've been able to learn how to organize our commodities, and then also they've even helped us to improve access to these commodities. As management, because we see and we understand the impact of this, we've also been supportive in terms of when we are not able to get the commodities from there, we're able to ensure that we still get it from other sources and still be able to give it to our clients at the reduced price. Thank you.
Before PPFP came, I didn't know, all of us, we didn't know that we can go and do it in our church or in our children's school, the PTA meetings. It was through the advent of PPFP that we were aware that we could extend such services to those places. So, and every year, most churches, they hold women's conference. Like, I'm a member of Redeemed Christian Church of God. This year, we have already done it. So during that period, I'm usually engaged to minister about family planning. And I make sure I give them flyers, show them the flip charts, they project it on the screen. And at the end of the day, the women, they are always very happy. And they come for uptake. Some people have even come, despite the fact that I live very far, because I live at Ikotun, Igbe side. Some people have followed me here to come and do family planning all the way from that place.
I think it's the fact that they've walked along the journey with us, and they've celebrated the wins with us. Where we needed a push, we've had someone say, okay, push. There are times when, of course, they come and they say, no, you're not doing this right. You need to improve on this. You need to, so all of that. And then when we also have the meetings where other hospitals who are also partaking in this come around, we're able to share, experiences, and everybody's able to learn from it. So I think the fact that we know we're not alone and we know that we're getting enough support, I think that also helps us to, do more. Everyone likes to see improvements. So, okay, this is where we're going, this is where we want to achieve it, and if we're able to do this, this is when this is what we're going to achieve, and all of that. So I think, by and large, I would say that it's been good that we know that we have someone walking along the journey with us and helping us to achieve more.
There's a long impact. Our traffic has increased, or the statistics have increased from what it was in 2018 when we started. The graph is rising.